Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10 Scenarios. What if Heath returns with Rick and other topics? We're not just going to stay with that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to explain what the whole nature of this stream is. We put some polls, some surveys up, and you guys have chosen some different things that what if they would have happened a little bit differently. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Brand new stream. We've tested it a little bit. Got a lot of announcements for you guys tonight. Before we get too far into it, can I try to read Valar's super chat? It gets tougher and tougher every time, but I'll try to do it fast. Hello, 999 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy, Kells, Tommy, Sweet. I give up. You know what? Nerd, Benjamin, William, sponsors, patrons, channel members, PDL players, and sponsors, and all super. I think Valar, I think you put an extra name in there sometimes just to trick me, but thank you so much. Appreciate that. It is a big group. It is growing. We have a lot of fun. You guys were here for Monday mashups. Many of you were here for random things last night. We added bonus bags last night. We just got some neat stuff happening. So also I want to give a shout out to the Patreon Army. You can see the Patreon Army up there on the screen. Great group of people. If you guys are wondering, let me also explain. Last night we did our first booster pack opening. What do you guys think about the booster packs? So the booster packs are going to be available in different streams. They're over on the left side. They are available for purchase. So you have to find it, but if you go down, you find the super sticker button that is hype, then we'll stop the stream and you get to choose 1, 2, or 3. And part of the reason why I bring that up is because over on the far right-hand corner, you can see the King Cobra bow. And that is something that OU Captain Crawfish won last night. It is the first weapon that is an official weapon we're going to be using in our Play Dead live streams. It will be a part of our weapons guide when that prints middle of the summer. It is, I'll give you the stats on it right now. And Sheila Beasley is going to pick the first booster pack of the night. The King Cobra is every 2 turns, it does a double attack. So it is a bow of briskness. All right, Sheila, you get to pick 1, 2, or 3. There is something really, really good in that group, I can tell you. Something new that we have not seen yet. So make your pick, Sheila. Hopefully you pick wisely. She's going with number. What do you guys think? You guys think 3? Help her out a little bit. I don't want her to make a bad decision. You guys agree with the 3, or should you mix it up a little bit? We're getting a booster pack right out of the gate. Valar's saying 2. Julia Muse is saying 3. All right, Sheila, you see some 1s, some 3s. I'm going to give you one more chance. You want to stay with 3, or you want to mix it up? Do you go with your first instinct? I like that. Julia says, go with your first instinct. She's staying with number 3. All right, everybody. Let's do this. Let's pick number 3. Pack number 3 is 25 dead dimes. 25 dead dimes. So you are getting on the currency counter. Certainly, the currency is building. So the dead dimes, I'll let you guys know what the trading is a little bit later. No hype. Why can't you do the hype sticker? All right. No hype. There is a hype sticker. All right. We'll do it, Amy Ferrero. But the hype sticker, if you guys are looking for that, if you go to Super Stickers and then you pick the alligator and scroll down, that's where you find the hype sticker. All right. So we got Amy Bones Ferrero. Amy, you pick a number. And then Tammy, you get the 3rd one. No worries, no worries. We're good, we're good. So Tammy found it. All right, so to the rest of you, we only have 3 booster packs, so that's it. Amy's picking number 2. Amy, number 2 is, I think you're going to like this. This is our first actual piece of armor. This is a Riot Helmet. It is really, really cool. You're going to be able to use it starting Friday. So anything that you guys get in the booster packs, you can use it starting Friday in your PvP. I'll give you the stats on it tomorrow. You don't know the stats on it, so when you guys get these, but I can tell you it's really, really cool, and I think you're going to like the stats on it. And Tammy Heitzman is getting number 1. So Tammy, you actually don't sleep on this. There are some multiple uses. Tammy, you are going to get one of our first items, and it's cat litter. Now, at first glance, you're probably going to say, what am I going to do with cat litter? I will tell you, there are some people that I already know that are looking for this specific item. It has some uses beyond what you think. So keep that in mind. So Tammy Heitzman, congratulations. I'll give you a little bit more detail on what you can do. Many, many uses, especially for Play Dead Live. So Tammy getting the cat litter. And we've got Amy with the Riot Helmet. So very, very good job to each of you. And Sheila Beasley with 25 dead dimes, getting the currency. So that's it, everybody. I mean, we'll still have super chats throughout the stream, but we're not going to do any more than 3 booster packs per stream because we want to get the weapons and the armor. We don't want to flood it. So these weapons and armor are going to be they're going to be unique and they're going to be hard to find. So that's what we got. Stay tuned toward the end of the stream because I heard that we're going to have some bonus bags for some very active participants. So the more you get involved, the more I see your name up there. Stick around. We're going to pick a couple people because we're going to give away some more stuff at the very end. So let's start this thing out and let you guys know a little bit about some of your list. So we're going to start out with number 5 in The Walking Dead Season 10 scenarios in What If. And we are going to talk about Rick and Heath. But one of the big ones was, what if the Whisperers were around before the Saviors? So I know you guys are loving Simon up there. How many people miss Simon? Anybody here miss Simon? So the Saviors were not a very popular group. And then people sort of learned to like Negan. But what if the Whisperers would have been terrorizing first? Do you think you would have had a little different viewpoint? Do you think we would have wanted the Saviors to be around, to participate, to help them out? Because Rick basically took down a lot of the Saviors. Imagine Rick partnering with this group of people. Crystal Singerchick loved to hate Simon. Julia Muse, I would shut that down. No except, yeah, he would have. Well, Negan at his height. Imagine Negan with the resources and the help and the support to take down the Whispers. Now he has to sort of sneak in and be a part of them if that's the direction he goes. But I think the Saviors would have been, I think in their heyday, they would have came up with some pretty good strategies. And as a sidebar, Tammy, I've heard that there's certain weapons. I'm not going to say what they are in a YouTube stream just yet, but do your research. There are certain weapons that can be concocted using that various kitty litter. So keep that in mind. I know some players that would be very interested in finding that. Jules, the answer to that is no. No. I see Chris Raining. Chris Raining, I think, showed up. He thought it was karaoke night. We should sing Chris Raining a song just to welcome him back. So this is number 5 on your list. This was submitted by Ben Stevenson. But I'm going to bring back some more horrible memories. So number 4, what if scenario. What if Negan would have only killed Abraham? Maybe he had an agenda. Maybe Daryl provoked him. But if Negan would have only killed Abraham, think about the chain reactions to all of that. If Glenn would have been alive, if Maggie and Glenn would have stayed there, if they would have taken over the hilltop together, there's a whole lot of good things that would have had a domino effect there. Ben Stevenson, I think the Saviors wouldn't have been near the threat after the group survived the Whispers. You know, Ben, I think that's a good point. Having a common enemy would have probably made the Saviors kind of bond a little bit more with Rick's group. So many of them would not have had to die or been cast out, or, you know, even building the bridge did not go smoothly. Lynn Nesbitt says, I would love if Glenn were still on the show. Yeah. Is it too soon to do a Karl versus Glenn? If you guys could pick one person back, Glenn or Karl, who would you choose? Just curious. Taya says Glenn. Beth says Karl. We're going to be 50-50 on this, right? Karl, Glenn. Right down the middle, I think, for the most part. I would have chosen Glenn. Now, there's one caveat. If it's comic book Karl, I would take Karl. Television Karl? Nah. I had no emotional attachment to television Karl. But I really, really liked comic book Karl. He was a beast. Yeah, certainly. You know what? I do have to just take one quick moment. You know, we don't go over rules a whole lot on YouTube streams because we have moderators. But I do have to, it's a semi-serious topic, but I just don't want anybody else to get trapped in it. So if you guys, am I okay? Can I take about 15 seconds of your time just to go over something? And I promise I'll get us back on track really, really quickly. I just want to ask permission before I do it. So we're pretty clear on our streams that, you know, we give nicknames, we have a good time, we invented our own game, we got booster packs, we got all these things going on. And I will never get into your business. You know, I don't want to know where you go to church. I don't want to know what you eat. I don't want to know your religious affiliation. I don't want to know your political affiliation. So someone, and this person, if you're still listening, you can be welcome back. Someone decided to change their name. They were here for over a year, and they changed their name, showing their support for a political candidate. And let me just say, our streams are not bulletin boards. So if you come here and you say, I am for such and such, or I do this, or I do that, you're going to be blocked. So if you change it to a name that is neutral or a name that has something to do with it, we get hundreds of thousands of people come in and watch, and we're not going to use our channel to become a bulletin board. In fact, many people escape it to come here. So it might have been innocent, but change it back to a normal name, and then you can be more than welcome back into our stream. It's the way it is. It's the way it's always going to be. Like I said, I'm not going to go on record and say, you know, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you support. What you do is your own thing. I care the way people feel when they're in our streams. and they watch our videos. That's what I care about. So hopefully that message hits home with everybody. All right, we're good. That's all I had to say. I just want to get that out in the open every once in a while and just let you guys know. We try to do things a little bit differently here. All right, so let's move on. We could probably talk about number 4 for a long time. So I'm going to move on to number 3. Maybe we'll go back to number 4. Number 3, I changed this up a little bit. So what would have happened if Rick and Jesse were still a thing? There would be no there'd be no RJ. And Rick and Jesse would be a thing if Sam would have shut up. So think of all the different events that would have happened in season 10. So let's kind of walk through this. If Sam would not have been, crying, and Rick and Jesse would have worked out, would Rick still be in Alexandria and never been injured? Think through all the course of events that happened. Or do you think it still would have played out the same way? It's a good point. So Robin Vance says Ron would not have allowed that to happen. He hated Rick. Well, would Ron have shot Rick instead of Karl? Could that have been a scenario? And then, here you go. And then if Ron would have shot Rick instead of Karl, if Karl had 2 eyes, would Karl have been in a situation with Sadiq and been bitten by the walker? Maybe if Karl had his full vision, he wouldn't have been in that situation. So if Sam would not have gotten himself killed and gotten Jesse killed, Rick might have died, and then Karl could have taken over the show and been the star of the show like the comic books. There you go, Karl fans. Let's blame Sam. Stop blaming Gimple. Blame Sam. Sam's fault. No? You don't like that one? Okay. Okay, would Karl have killed Ron? Maybe Ron. Okay, here we go. What if Rick would have ended up with Jesse? Michonne would have ended up with Ezekiel. Ron would have gotten bitten by the walker and taken Karl's death. And then we would have Ezekiel, Michonne, Rick and Jesse, no RJ, Karl would still be alive, and Ron would be dead. Better? I mean, you can't get much better than having Rick and Karl both on the show. I mean, that has to satisfy everybody, right? All you do is, you don't have RJ. You'd have EJ, Ezekiel Jr. Gina says Michonne would have killed Jesse. She had her sights on Rick. Now it's getting a little crazy mode. But you see the gist of it. You see how one or two chain of events can really mix it up. Let's go to our number 2 selection. That was kind of indirectly number 3. So number 2, something we threw out there a while back. I don't know how I feel about it now. We were funneling it. We talked about Oceanside having a spy and potentially being Jules. Now that a lot of other people are talking about it, I don't like it as much. It's like, it sounded good in the beginning. But what if Jules is a spy? See, I agree with that, Taya. She probably isn't a spy. She probably isn't a whisperer, but I kind of want her to be too. But now that Dante has been revealed and in such epic fashion, I don't think she is. But it's cool that people are starting to come up with a theory now, like a month later, when it's sort of fizzled out. But I'm going to go one better. Villar thinks she is. How many people think Jules is a spy? Oh, Ron Burgundy. Maybe she's a spy for the Commonwealth. Maybe there's a different group. Whoa, that's too much going on. You got Whisper spies and Commonwealth spies. Well, she did just kind of show up at the same time. I do like that, though. Christmas Girl. In my opinion, the writers want the audience paranoid, too. I'm trying to think, Christmas Girl, if there was something that transitioned me into even a slight state of paranoia. It's tough. It's tough to take that unless you're just fully just into the moment. I think it's a great super chat. So let me ask that to the audience. Did you guys feel a sense of paranoia from some of the scenes in this season's episodes? I can give you some emotions that I felt, but I don't know if I felt paranoia. And there's nothing wrong. Many of you did. To me, paranoia is such a serious psychological disturbance. It's hard for me to get that attached. Now, look, I can be curious, I can be angry, I can be a little bit hurt. Paranoid, not as much. And I'll tell you, I agree with that, Ryan Brown. Anxious, confused, absolutely. And I mentioned this in a previous stream. The most chilling moment for me, Emmy knows what I'm talking about. There's one rule between our people. One law. We're always watching. You must be punished. That, and then the blonde boy called your name just before we took his head. I mean, that just makes the hair on my arms stand up. And I don't even have a lot of hair on my arms, but what few I have, they stand up when I think of Alpha talking about decapitating Henry. So I don't know that I ever got to a state of paranoia, but I got to a state of anger and hurt and I mean, those things were real for me. Like just watching that scene over is a big deal. But yeah, it's such a good question and such a good super chat, Christmas Girl, because it shows the barrier between life and the TV show, and I didn't quite get there. But certainly, I can see how many people did. That's a good point, and I can't wait till she gets punished. Yeah, great topic of conversation. So someone brought this up just a couple minutes ago and said, could Jules be from the Commonwealth or another community? I think it would be confusing, but she did just kind of show up out there when Dante was out there, and then they all sort of marched in together. I'm going to offer an alternate solution. I don't think so. I don't think she's with Virgil. I'm going to say, at first, I thought she could be a Whisperer. But now that I have seen the way it's playing out, I think she's going to be Luke's love interest that dies. I don't think she's going to make it. I think Oceanside is going to get overrun. But she is in the Thanksgiving picture, right? So, yeah, I guess, now you guys are going to make me waver back and forth. I know. There was a mask. We were on it. As soon as the mask came out, we were like, that's Jules. Jules is a spy. She's part of the Whisperers. She's getting some intel. And I wouldn't put it past Alpha to have people in every group. I'm going to leave it at that. If we go any further into it, I'm going to change my mind like 3 more times. Could have been Dante's mask. Yeah, that's a good point too. Maybe we'll go back and just check out the masks. All right, I'm going to jump into, this was your number 1, and this is what we titled it, and I think this will have the majority of the conversation because there's key cards and there's PPP, and then there's the Isabella, the group, and Fear, and then there's Jadis, and then there's the World Beyond. This is a badass chopper. This is not the old beat-up green chopper that was transporting Rick. This is some high-tech stuff. So, if you wonder, like, how the group has advanced, well, let's just take a look at what they're rocking here. I mean, they're flying in some legit stuff. So, if this is new, what this tells me, this is a group now that can manufacture and build its own helicopters. What's cool about this is that when the world started to kind of go south, when it started to go bad, it was get a hold of all the stuff you can get. Hey, we're running out of food. There's some applesauce. Go get that. Hey, we need bullets. We don't have any bullets. We have no gasoline. We can't drive. But this one group has a chopper. Well, now you got another group that has like super new painted aerodynamic, all these things. So the world beyond is beyond. It's advanced. Now, why somebody would want to go back out and see what it was like, that's up to them. But I think it will be an interesting storyline. But could Heath make a return? I know we talk about Maggie. Maggie is in a different group, different set of expectations. Heath might have been traded. He might have been recruited. He was taken regardless. But Heath, more than the other ones, didn't you guys kind of get a sense from Heath that other than Tara, he was just kind of ready to move on. I think comic book Denise, then, him and Tara went out, got caught by the Sandwalkers. So Heath could potentially be the type of person that really converted to this hardcore military type of lifestyle. The other thing that I love about the Commonwealth and what I love about this new chopper is Heath lost a very valuable piece of equipment. Ben Stevenson says, plot twist, they're all unplugged from the Matrix and it was a computer simulation the whole time. Keanu Reeves saves them all. Ben, I feel like you and Tom Bug Ferreira might have switched super chats all of a sudden. Oh, okay. Where is Bug? Where's Bugzilla at? Villar, don't mean to be a downer for the new show, but seeing the CRM group would be more interested in seeing the kids going out in their adventure. Villar, I won't say that I disagree with that, but I'm going to tell you why I think we might be premature in that judgment. Because I think the TV show is going to be kind of like The Fugitive, right? You got these kids that escape, and I think we will see the Commonwealth, that we are going to see them tracked down. And part of the intrigue to the show is going to be what they face, but what they're also running from. So I think we're going to get different elements of that. And I think that'll be good for the show. But also, I don't think that they can give us too much because of the movies. And now later on, maybe they can. Maybe it's a transition. But we're going to learn about the Commonwealth, but then we're going to see them in all their glory and everything that they do in the Rick Grimes movie. So I see where you're coming from with it, but I think it's going to be really, really good. And I never said that about Fear. Well, look, the first 3 seasons, no. But season 4 in Fear, I was hyped. I was pumped, about John, about the crossovers, all those things going on. And then last season kind of fizzled out a little bit. I didn't have the same, hype around Fear. I'm ready to give it another chance. For long, they're going to have to can Ian and Andrew, or they're going to have to really have a serious sit down with them and say, you guys got to figure this out. It's got to get better. But that aside, I don't think The World Beyond is a reboot of Fear. I think The World Beyond is going to be a little bit of that sci-fi element. I mean, look at the gear. Look at the helicopter they're rocking. They can still make vague references to people in The Walking Dead. I mean, what if? I mean, the crowd, you guys, I'm going to give you a test real quick. The crowd is going to lose their mind. What if there's a reference, of like a vague reference, to this awesome person, 7, 8, 9 years ago named Daryl Dixon? And, they're talking about him and he's a legend. We get a couple of those Easter eggs in World Beyond. The writers can just tease us with stuff like that from the previous set of events or set of scenarios to kind of, get us back and forth like, wait a minute, we're watching Walking Dead. What happened to Daryl? What's Daryl's story? And if they throw a couple of those things out there where we're trying to figure out, could that be Yumiko's kid? Could that be Coco? Could that be, somebody that's a little bit older? I think they got a lot of potential. And they can transition it away from a zombie drama to action and adventure and a little bit of sci-fi. And also give us the rest of it with the movie. You sit there and eat your popcorn, watch it on the big screen. It's just going to be blowing stuff up and doing all this stuff. I don't think you can do that every Sunday night. I don't know that many shows have the budget to go full scale Commonwealth blowing stuff up every week. So you got to have a little bit of a story, for nothing else, to keep from spending $20 million every Sunday to produce it. But when you get to a movie and you talk about the ticket sales and everything else going to go along with it, I think it's way too early. Let's give it a couple months. Let's give it a couple shows. But I do think, because they are teenage protagonists, I think people are going to treat it like it's a Peloton commercial. I do think it's going to be under a serious microscope, and you're going to, oh, here we go. Here goes Twilight knockoff. Okay, here we go. I mean, it's going to be scrutinized at a whole different level. But what if Heath makes a cameo? What if, I can't believe I'm even saying this, because I don't think Rick should come back. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Rick Grimes heard over the radio. We've talked about this for over a year, right? I don't think The Walking Dead show needs Rick Grimes back. I think it's a disruptor. But I don't have a problem with the group knowing he's still out there. And in fact, I think a reference or hearing his voice, I think would be phenomenal. I think that would be extremely uplifting, and I think it could start to merge the shows. But certainly, this group that thinks he's dead, and I think there will be a reintroduction of Rick Grimes, but I don't think he'll come back to the show. And what I mean by that is I think he's going to breathe life into the characters. These characters, I don't want to use the word worshipped Rick, but Rick was their leader. He was their life. He was, they followed him everywhere. And for them to think he's been dead for 7 years and to go through everything they went through, and all of a sudden you find out, like, he's alive. Wait, he's alive. It gives you a larger than life motivation. And I think it could be just what the group needs. It's great points, though. Really, really good points. So let me kind of throw it out there to the group. Rick was hyped up as Rick Grimes' final episodes. Heath never was. Do you guys think that we potentially could see Heath make a comeback, and maybe Heath is the one that lets the group know about Commonwealth as they start to transition? I mean, at this point, I don't feel like it's Maggie. I know we talked about it and we thought, okay, I still think Maggie's going to come back and be a badass on the show. But I'm not sure that Maggie is going to be the bond or the tie between Rick and Michonne. Because I don't think there's time for that. I think Michonne is going to be dealing with some crazy stuff over on that island, and Virgil. And I think Maggie will make her entrance later on. And Maggie could be, look, she has some resources. She has some connections. She can help them win the Whisper War. And Maggie can be one of the leaders to try to transition them over to Commonwealth. And Heath has been gone. We see Heath again in season 11. Or, even better, I think we see Heath at the end of season 10, 15 or 16, because if you guys have not heard yet, there are rumors out there that this week, Polly-Ann McIntosh, Andrew Lincoln, supposedly on the West Coast filming. So the rumors are starting to spread that the movie is actually in the works. So we are getting some progress now. If the movie is, let's say, potentially summer, early fall, it would stand to reason that we get, I'm going to make a super bold prediction here, and then tomorrow night, we're really going to get into our bold predictions. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the premise of tomorrow night's chat. I'm going to throw down a gauntlet right here and say we will get some sort of Walking Dead movie reference before episode 16 in The Walking Dead, in Fear the Walking Dead, and also in Walking Dead World Beyond. I'm going to say that they will give us an Easter egg in all three to really get the Walking Dead fans hyped up about this movie. One from the current, one from the slight past, and one from the future. And the movie is going to be just that kind of brainless entertainment that we can just sit down and sort of eat it up. And because if you guys were the writers, you'd do the same thing. You're not going to miss the opportunity to get free advertising, to hype this thing up. Will the Bill, I saw you popped in. Just an FYI, Will. Tammy got a pretty legit item that your engineer might be interested in. Just, if you didn't catch that during the live pack opening, go back and watch the playback. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, Paris. And some of you guys might have missed my rant earlier in the week. They're not ending The Walking Dead. We got this covered, put out their own theory, pumped up their own theory, disproved their own theory in the same article, pumped it up again, and debunked it again, all in the same article, and then about 30 other publications saw their silly theory and then wrote an article based on theirs and said, The Walking Dead could end after season 12. You know what? The Walking Dead could end tomorrow. It's a completely baseless article that a whole bunch of bored people got their hands on and cited it as it was something that was legit, and it was absolutely nothing. Now, if you're talking, Paris, you're talking about the grand scheme of things and saying, if the show is going to end, I don't see anything signifying that the show is going to end next year, the year after, or 5 years from now. They don't appear to be trying to, create a legacy of, we got to tell this story and then end it at this point. They appear to be taking a different approach, which is, let's keep writing this thing, and as long as people watch and enjoy it, and as long as people show up at Comic-Con, and as long as people stream and talk about it every night and get hyped up about it, then let's keep doing this. So I have seen no indication from AMC or anybody else that there's any motivation to wind it down. And I think that's why it's imperative for us as fans. I mean, do you guys see the amount of articles that are out there, the amount of talk shows, the amount of chats around it, the amount of 5-minute videos that are put up there, the theories, the predictions, the spinoffs, like all of those things. I would say the Walking Dead franchise is as popular as ever, but it's popular in several different ways. Whereas before, it was all about the comic and the TV show. Now it's about the TV show, 2 spinoffs, and a movie. And come on. Is there anybody here that thinks Robert Kirkman is done? Is there anybody here that thinks he's not going to take a year or two off and then really get that itch to ramp it up again to see if you can make that comeback? Come on. I don't think that he is done. I don't think the Walking Dead comic is done. I think that let the movie catch up, let the TV show catch up, let them create their own identity, and then, let him do his thing with his characters again. And let AMC invent a few of their own characters. He'll absolutely come back strong. So, hey, we got a ton of people here. You guys do me a favor. If many of you guys are here every night. So if you guys are having a good time with our streams, then do me a favor. Hit that like button. I'm going to do, we hit all 5 of our topics, and I got a little bit of time left. I'm going to open it up because I know Will the Bill, a few other people had asked, hey, Kills, used to do Chill with Kills. We are going to do some bonus bags at the end of this, so I'd love for you guys to hang out for a few more minutes and get some of your thoughts, get some of your comments in there. But I'm going to open it up just for some Q&A because if there are any questions, I know some people log on and we talk about PDL and we talk about Play Dead Live and all the different elements. There's varying degrees of knowledge of what Play Dead Live is and how we're going to do it. So I'm going to take a couple questions if you guys would like to talk about that. If you guys want to make some comments about the TV show, movies, theories. Tomorrow night we are going to do one of my favorite shows. I know some of you guys... you like the Monday mashups. You like the random things. My favorite stream is Bold Predictions. That's where I think we get the most content, the most funnels. But I'm really curious. We do this from time to time, and we do have a brand new stream. So I'm going to give you guys a few options. What is your favorite stream? Is it the brand new Monday mashups with the trivia we just did? Is it random things that we do 4 episodes and we take a little bit of time off? Is it our Bold Predictions? Is it Freestyle Friday? Is it Play Dead Live? Is it Coffee with Kills where we rant on Saturday mornings? Is it spoilers? Absolutely. I want to know kind of what motivates you guys and what your favorite shows are. Mine is Bold Predictions. I've kind of told you guys. But PDL is up there. Freestyle Friday, I think, is good. Random Things, we had a good time last night. We did some brand new segments last night. If you guys missed Random Things, we did Pieces of You. Just looking to... yes, absolutely. I mean, any stream we get together, I think, turns into a good time. But tomorrow night, we are going to do our Bold Predictions, and we're really going to start working on the second half of the season because there's some very intriguing things that could take place, and we'll start tomorrow, and when these things start to happen, we watch it, we're going to go back and say, hey, remember on December 5th when we threw that theory out there that Connie was going to be eaten by walkers in the mine and not make it out alive? I mean, those are things that we're going to talk about, so we're going to get our Bold Predictions starting tomorrow night with the second half. But I'm looking forward to that as well. So, thanks for that. I appreciate that support, your kind of answers. So PDL, Play Dead Live. I'm going to let you guys ask a few questions, but I'm going to read off a couple things here of what, this will go fast, but things that you can look forward to in 2020 that have to do with our Friday night game. We're also going to be playing some on Saturday as well. We'll have introductory on both nights. I'll go into detail with what these things mean later on. player's guide, a game master's guide, a weapons guide, a book of beast, trading cards. It's going to be a set of 12 trading cards. There's also going to be seasonal trading cards, Halloween Dead Delights, a Christmas moderator set, game gear, your own PDL game case with a dice pack, character record sheets, potentially PDL miniatures, PDL packs, which are trading cards, and a few other things. I'm not going to tell you what all is going to go into your PDL sponsor bag. So you guys can see the sponsors in the top right-hand corner. Every 3 months, we're going to do a pack, and they're going to have various items in there. They're going to ship out. We are cutting off the sign-up for that in the next 4 days. So whoever is signed up as a PDL sponsor, and you have to stay a sponsor as well, in March is going to be the first PDL pack, and then in January we'll let you sign up again. And the reason is we have printing cutoff dates. So when we do these trading cards, they take weeks to design and print. The boxes take weeks to design and print. So I can't just kind of, leave it open until the last minute, because we have to have a cutoff, and then we'll reopen it and let you guys get back in. The one thing now I'm going to say is once we do next year's trading cards, that's it. So we're going to print a certain amount of them. There are going to be no more from that series. And then we're going to do a series 2. So if there's 50, if there's 75, if there's 100, once they're out there, there is, then whoever has them has them. They're going to ship in some nice plastic hard cases, so they'll be protected. But we got a lot of cool stuff going on. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So questions, Play Dead Live questions, and then we'll get to the bonus bags. Characters, stats, experience points. This week we are doing something unique as well. So Friday night it is going to be The Mine is Mine. It's going to be the first time that we're pitting 3 teams against each other. And it's going to be Capture the Flag. So I've got 3 captains. Jules, our very own Julia Muse, is going to be a captain. Trigger, Angel Caloris, is going to be a captain. And I need a 3rd captain. So I need 1 additional person to volunteer that is going to be able to lead a PvP team. You got to be here Friday, so don't volunteer if you can't make it. Let's see who wants to lead a group. Oh, I got a lot of volunteers. Okay. Now, all right, Mariah. I'm going to go with Mariah Campese. Mariah's been here quite a bit. Hasn't gotten to be involved in the PDL that much. So Jules, Trigger, and Mariah are the 3 team captains. Now, hold on. Each of you get to pick 1 additional player. And I'm going to put you on the spot right now. You got Emmy, you got Ben Stevenson, you got Will the Bill, you got Amy Bones Ferreira, you got Ocean Man. You got some characters in here that want to play. So I'm going to start with Jules. Jules, you get the first pick. And Jules is picking Ben Stevenson. Mariah, I'm going to ask you to pick second. Remember, Will is an engineer. Amy Bones Ferreira is a doctor, a medic. Think about the classes and the experience that people have. I can go through a whole lot of different people that have played and what they bring to the table. You got a ninja out there. I think the question was, what's Emmy? Emmy was a fighter class and led an entire group. Tammy has Tammy has cat litter. Don't forget about the gear. And Amy has a riot mask and is a doctor. So just throwing that out there for everybody. All right. Mariah is taking... You guys can't take all my mods. Come on. I got to have mods to run the show. All right, I'm blacklisting Emmy. Emmy cannot be selected. No more mods. Ben is a new mod, so we're going to let Ben do it. Yeah, no to Emmy, no to Kel, no to Tommy. We want to get some other people involved. So, Mariah, you get to choose again. And Ben has not played. All right, Mariah is taking Amy with the riot mask and the medic skills. All right, where is Angel? Where are you at, Trigger? All right, Trigger, you get to pick one. Oh, and yeah, don't forget, you guys have the priest, Ron Burgundy Moore. Mist can climb trees. We got a one-eyed ninja. All right, I need to find Trigger somewhere. Where are you at? Okay, Ocean Man. Ooh, we got a ruthless, maybe a villain. Interesting. All right, so here are the teams. Jules, Trigger, and Mariah. All right, let me lay a couple ground rules here. 1, this is the most important. I'm being serious. So, super serious. This is a competitive game. Do not be a baby if you lose, okay? I don't want behind-the-scenes drama. I don't want whining. I can't believe, the group was cheering for me to die, blah, blah, blah. Get over it. Come on. It's a game. People will like you. People will dislike you. Play the game. Don't worry about whatever happens behind the scenes. That's the rule. The rule of our game is everybody's here to have a good time. And if you are the sour grapes, then you will get to sit down and somebody else will get in. We're not here for any drama. We're here to have a good time. No sore losers. With that being said, I want you to try to win because we're not playing to lose either. All right. Jules and Ben, you can come up with strategy. Trigger and Ocean Man, you guys can come up with your strategy. And Mariah and Amy, you guys can touch base offline, come up with a strategy. I'm going to give you just a couple details. Everybody else is here. Hang on a second. We are going to have 12 more people that are randomly assigned to these teams. They don't know who you're going to be yet, so there's a whole lot more people that are going to be playing. Jules, Trigger, and Mariah, I all need you to message me, not in stream, but I need the three of you to message me a number from 1 to 5. Not in stream. Message me outside. So Mariah, Trigger, and Jules, all of you have messaged me before. And the reason you're messaging me a number is because you are going to pick one of the chests to hide your flag. This PvP is going to be about surviving through the maze. It's going to be about 3 different teams standing off, and each group is going to have 5 chests at their base. Whoever gets the flag first, that means you might not need to kill all your opponents. If you get to the flag, you win. They're eliminated. So if you have a strategy for, and let's say you go in wild and you happen to pick the right one, that team could be eliminated. Any questions? You can eliminate them and then take your time to open the chest. You can find a way to open the chest and get their flag early. If you don't get through the maze and you lose half your team, you're going to be at a disadvantage. But ultimately, it's going to be 3 different teams. Only one team can win. If you die during your campaign and your team wins, you still get the rewards at the end. So that is the way it is going to go down. I got one more PDL announcement, and I've been holding this one in for a while. And if I get a quick 999 from everybody, I'm looking forward to this because I think this is going to be a lot of fun as well. So I just want to make sure you guys are ready for this because there's some people that have not played Play Dead Live yet. I promised it was a big announcement. Next Friday, we're going to do something that I don't know has ever been done before in live streaming. Everybody here is going to play Dead Live. It is going to be a madhouse. It's going to be a special scenario we're doing. It's called Storming the Castle. Now, many of you will be eliminated very, very fast because it is going to be chaotic. I can't get everybody's thoughts. So, as I said, you're going to have to take it with a grain of salt. I can't read 200 people going up and down the stream. So when I see it, I will call on a person. But it's likely, if there's a couple hundred of you and there's a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 enemies, not everybody's going to make it. So it is going to be madness. So it's going to be our first ever storm in the castle. 99% of you will not make it. That's why I said it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. So I'll go through more details of that. But it is going to be the closest thing to a Lord of the Rings type of scenario that you'll ever find. All right, everybody. We got some crazy activity tonight. So, Amanda Tomlin. Who else we got here? Christmas Girl. And Mist the Ninja. Love the interaction with you guys tonight. We have 3 bonus bags. Amanda, I need you to pick a number from 1 to 9. We're going to do something that we started doing. We're not going to do this every stream, but there could be some kills coins. There could be some merchandise. There could be some things to use in this week's scenario. So pick a number 1 to 9, and let's see what bonus bag we come up with. Did we lose Amanda? 1 to 9, Amanda. You're picking. Amanda, you're going first. Amanda picks number 3. Number 3, what do we have in number 3? Oh, we got an X. All right. Sorry, Amanda. There's a lot of X's. All right, let's go with Christmas Girl. Christmas Girl, pick a number that's not number 3. It's like, how about 9? No. Yeah. 3 doesn't always work out so well. Christmas Girl picks number 5. Let's see how number 5 turns out. Oh, man. We're 0 for 2. And Miss the Ninja. Somebody has to win tonight. I promise you there are items. Yeah, whammies. There's too many whammies. Where's Mist? Help her out. Give Mist a little help. Give her some number ideas. Somebody pick a winner here. Where is my one-eyed ninja? All right, Mist picks number 6. And 10 dead dimes. So, Mist, good job. You picked one of the ones that did have some items in there. So we're going to add you. The dead dimes will be used to exchange and play Dead Live. We have a character that Karl is going to be taking over called the Banker. The Banker will have trading. We'll have some other stuff. One of the good items from tonight, just want to show you guys a couple other things. I think 4 would have been solid. So this would have been a nice item for our Play Dead Live scenario. This is a 1-hour strength potion. So would have given you a few additional hit points. Would have given you a little extra bonus on your attack. So there's some other items that are out there. Some could be temporary potions. Some could be weapons, armor, items that you're going to use to manufacture your other items. I won't go through all the stuff in the bonus bags, but hang out with us. I just want to do some things for you guys that are being very active and give a few items back. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to wind it down because I know our streams have been running an hour and a half. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for just the conversation, the ideas on Facebook. Some really, really good polls, surveys, interaction. Let me give another special shout out to the Patreons in the top left-hand corner. Patreons support this channel through a third-party website. They help bring these events, these giveaways, these broadcasts to you each and every night. The sponsors, Play Dead Live sponsors, the top right-hand corner. Game development, and my sponsors are doing a lot of things behind the scenes to add to the merchandise and the other things that we're bringing to you guys. Super chatters tonight. Moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, Walking Dead Nerd, and also Ben Stevenson. 6 mods, the best mods you'll ever find anywhere. Thanks for everything that you guys do. Looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow night at 9:30 for bold predictions, and then, of course, our Freestyle Friday and our Play Dead Live Friday night. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.